Everyone, so we've decided to make this a two-part video because it's quite lengthy and we didn't want y'all to sit through the whole thing very torturously. And then in the second part, we'll share how to use different tools to get estimated cost of your shipping and so on and so forth. So yeah, hope this helps. So here are some tools that might help you in this finding out your details and all. So this page is quite useful in terms of your shipment of items. So the explanation for all these pictures and all, we actually did it in the previous video on types of Taobao shipping. So go there if you want like the English translation, what does this image mean and all that. But I think just want to mention this portion, which is the 直送 and 集运, which is the direct and consolidated shipping. So all this you can see it says like, okay, so let's talk about consolidation because I think most of us will do that. So this is consolidated A, this is consolidated C. So you can see what the pricing, or if it's less than 0.5 kg, it's 19 yuan. This is the, what's that called? This is the weight limit. So your parcel items shouldn't exceed 25 kg. Whereas in terms of the dimensions, right, one side shouldn't exceed 80 cm, while the three sides shouldn't exceed 150 cm. Yeah, so what they're saying is that it should take about 7 working days for your item to reach you. So this is how it goes for air, and then this is C shipment. So C shipment has two types. So as I mentioned earlier, you know how I said C shipment, you can either be paying for the weight or paying for CBM. So this is how and why. So if your item is considered a small parcel, which is between 0 to 30 kg, then you'll be paying for the weight. So for the weight, this is how the pricing works. You have a weight limit of 30 kg. You have to make sure that your consolidated items, okay, so I'll just put in the translation in because I think if I were to say it will be quite long. Then this is for consolidated C for bigger items. So for big items, right, for it to qualify as a big item, a big parcel, it needs to be between 30 to 500 kg, and then that's when you get the CBM payment method. So some people do ask like, oh, how can I achieve, or how can I make sure that I get the CBM shipping payment instead of the weight payment for C? Honestly, I think it is quite difficult unless you are willing to take the risk of buying an item large enough to hit this limit in that sense. So for example, maybe if you want to buy a coffee table and the person tells you that, oh, the weight is 35 kg and it meets all these requirements over here for it to be a CBM payment, then you can go ahead. But if you are buying maybe like multiple items, then I personally wouldn't risk it in case if I had to pay by weight, right, then it would be really costly. Yeah. So anyway, for C, it takes 15 working days. So that's about, it's about twice the length of getting via air. But I mean, of course, the pricing is a lot better, it's more affordable. So this whole page might be difficult to understand, especially because it's all in Chinese. So let me show you what you can find on the mobile app, which has English translation, which actually I also refer to because it's great. Okay, so you can open your Taobao app, right? And from your home page, you can click the last tab which says 我的 Taobao. So click on it. Then it should bring you, I'm sure you are familiar with this page. So you scroll towards the bottom, you'll see this物流page lah. So basically it has everything that you need to know regarding your shipping with Taobao and all that. So just to run through the tabs in case you're unsure. So in my previous Taobao video, I mentioned how, you know, the first page in the home page, right, actually has the 货嘞 tab, but that has disappeared. So how you can access your 菜鸟 shipping stuff and all is through here. So the first one, 待机运, is what items that are waiting to be consolidated and sent out. So I currently have 5 items in 菜鸟 warehouse that's waiting to be shipped out. 物流订单, so that's just your order number and your order details. 客服 something, is basically to ask the customer service people questions. So if you click in, right, then this is where you can talk and ask them questions. So if you have any questions, this is where you can find. If you get your items rejected, or like your seller says that the warehouse is not accepting, so you can come here to talk to the agent. You will first be directed to a bot, but then subsequently you can ask to talk to an agent. Okay, next is 运费试算. Okay, basically it's a calculation of your parcel items. Okay, so on this page, what you can do is, okay, there this is. So using just now that calculations, it is 0.16 meter cube, which is the CBM. So if you go by air, this is the cost. If you go by sea, this is the cost. This is how you get the detailed breakdown of the shipping method. So one is after this page, you proceed on, you click this blue highlighted hyperlink words, and it brings you to this page that has all the information on the shipping method. So if not, what you can do is you go back to the Taobao, then at the shipping area as well, you click 进入, and once you 进入, right, you can at the bottom thing. So what here says is frequently used, like FAQs and all that. So click the second tab, which is basically the shipping cost and everything lah. Okay, so when you click in, you go back you see the same page that I showed just now. So what is great about this is that there is English translation for it. So for example, there's the Chinese version followed by the English one. So this is direct shipment. As mentioned, I won't be touching on direct shipment because it's not very frequently used. This is direct sea as well. And then this is the consolidation portion. So this is consolidation for air shipment. So if you go to the English translation, so you can see that this is door to door. So what that means is that when you choose to ship it over, they will send it right to your doorstep. The other two is self pickup in a point or self pickup box. I don't think you all need to use that. I mean, it's slightly cheaper, but it's not very convenient lah. Okay, so if you see for air shipment, it says, the first 0.5 kg is 20 renminbi, subsequent 0.5 kg is how much. So chargeable weight is based on the actual weight of the parcel. But sometimes they use volumetric weight lah. That's the thing. So weight, this is the restrictions. This is your estimated transit time. So as you can see, previously on the desktop it says 7 working days, but this says 9 working days. I do think the app might be a bit more updated, so maybe you might want to refer to 9 working days. Okay, and then this is, what's this? Okay, this 集运快捷. I won't be touching on this because I don't think it's frequently used. And then this is sea shipment, consolidated sea shipment. So once again, we scroll down to the English translation, right? And then as I mentioned earlier, the first one is the small parcel door to door. So same thing, small parcel, you have to make sure that that it is, so you can look at the criteria for consolidated parcels. So they should be less than 30 kg, so on and so forth. For single parcel, they should be less than 30 kg, so on and so forth as well. So it's small parcel. But once it exceeds 30 kg, then you have to go to consolidated sea shipment, which is, so if it's less than 0.5 CBM, it is 225 renminbi. Anything more than that is 450 renminbi per CBM, as well as the consolidation and so on. So as you can see, the sea shipment, right, their estimated transit time is about 20 days. Okay, their estimated sea shipment period is 20 days, but earlier on in the website it says 15 days, so yeah, it's about 15 to 20 working days, but generally it's about 2 to 3 weeks in total. So now I'll just share with you what are the different restrictions in terms of sea and air. I will not go very detailed into it because we spoke about it in the previous video. But how you can find is similarly on on your app on the 菜鸟, like the shipping page and all. So you can just scroll to the bottom, and then over here there's this 帮助中心, so it's basically FAQs or like help desk. So you click on it and see the first one. It says what prohibited items there are. So you can click on the first one and brings you to this page. So okay, this page is all in Chinese. I would recommend using the desktop for it, but if you're able to read Chinese, then you can take a look here at all the prohibited items that they do not allow you to ship. Alternatively, what you can do, okay, so on your desktop, when you log into Taobao, you can click this page, which is basically overseas help FAQ. Okay, so at the FAQ help desk page, right? So you select this, which is overseas logistics or like shipping stuff. So you can see here it is about the shipping prices. So over here, so this is the Singapore one. Other countries will include like Canada, Taiwan, Australia, Hong Kong, so on and so forth. So that's one. Then if you want to find the prohibited items, click on this. Sorry, click on the second one for prohibited items for us. So yeah, here I guess it's the most comprehensive one. So it comprises of Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, Canada, Australia, and others. I do not read. Yeah, so over here what you can do is you can use Google Translate, so it's easier. So the common prohibited items are things like your drugs, your chemicals, plants as well. Plants, especially when they are not fake plants, when they are real. So yeah, they are quite careful on that. Flammable, explosive, and so on and so forth. So you can scroll through here to read the full prohibited items lah. Which leads, okay, so these include things like CD-ROM, food. CD-ROM, does anyone use CD-ROM? Okay, basically like electronics lah. So they do not allow electronic items, shipping of batteries, yeah, and like food, even if it's like, let's say vacuum pack or anything like that. So which leads me to the next portion of why do people use third-party forwarders, and that's because third-party forwarders allow you to ship this kind of items. So third-party forwarders, they allow you to ship batteries, ship food, plants, but technically you shouldn't, because I think if I believe that there's some regulation in Singapore about like shipping livestock and plants over or something like that. Yeah, so food that people commonly buy from Taobao are like your snacks, your dried goods, so like the different type of Maggi mee. Recently, not really recently, but Chris and I, we bought this like truffle sauce that people recommended, and it was pretty good. Then electrical appliances, so like that's why people use third-party forwarders, because you can ship over your like your dishwasher, your washing machine. Some people ship in toilet bowl. There's so many kind of things they can ship in. So yeah, I think that's why people use third-party forwarders, and also because it goes by actual volume of the item. So that's how the rates are much cheaper, which leads me to the question that people frequently ask of how do I estimate what is my CBM that I'll pay if I, let's say, were to buy a sofa. So one question, so basically to answer that question, same thing as the previous ones. So what you have to do is you have to ask your seller what is the dimensions of the whole packaging lah. So firstly, you ask them how many parcels and what is the dimensions of it. So to help you with that, let's say once you get the dimensions ready, right? So once you get the dimensions ready, what you can do is you go back to the CBM calculator and calculate it. So for example, let's say I have 5 parcels in the dimensions of 65, 50, 50, and they weigh 7 kg. So if you see here, the total volume will then be 0.813 CBM. And then I have another parcel, let's say it is 50, 40, 40, one parcel which is 5 kg, the volume is 0.08. So in total, my estimated CBM is 0.82 lah. So let's say we round up to 0.9. So you can expect that your sofa will cost you 0.9 CBM, and then the different rating price list will vary according to which third-party forwarder you use lah. So just note that your parcel can either be larger, as in what you pay for will either be larger or smaller than that. Because at the end of the day, we are buying other items. It depends on how your third-party forwarder packs it. So if they are not very good, then they will pack it very not efficiently. So instead of your parcel just being compressed like Tetris, then instead of fixing it nicely, instead of maybe paying at most 1 CBM, maybe they don't pack it very nicely and then you pay for 1.5 CBM. So there are instances like this. I have seen people who had so much distrust in the third-party forwarder because they realized that they were getting cheated off, that every time the parcel comes, right, they will stack it, they will measure all their items, they will measure it, and then if it differs way much, like let's say instead of paying for 1 CBM, they are paying for 2.5 CBM, then they actually write back to the 3PF and say like, hey, how come it's like that, So I guess if you are able to provide proof, you'll be able to negotiate with them. But so far, I have not gone to the extent, and I think that's why having a good 3PF, a reliable and trustworthy 3PF is very important. So for that, you can always go to our 3PF playlist to watch our reviews and how we use our 2 third-party forwarders and make the decision for yourself to see whether you would want to use them or not. So we come to the end of the video, and I hope the video was helpful in understanding, and you'll be able to answer to people if you're helping them to buy stuff, because I get that quite a bit. Like how much is the shipping, how much do I have to pay, and that's how you get the estimate. So I hope that helps. If I have any corrections in my video, please let me know, because I rarely use Cainiao actually. I've been using third-party forwarder, so I have to do a bit of research about it to put up this video lah, basically. Please subscribe to us if you like the video, you found this helpful, and if you like to see more like tips on Taobao, helpful reviews and all, then yeah, subscribe to us and turn on the bell button so that you get alerts when our video is out. Also, we do have a Tiger Brokers referral promotion ongoing, so we'll include it in the link in the description, so you can check that out if you're interested. And thank you for staying to the end if you're still here, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!